Okay, so this is Adam Derges. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Okay, and he's the host of the Army of Great Men podcast. So please welcome Adam. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just
Great
remember
job,
to
Michael.
stay on the podium and just speak loudly, please.
Sorry, what was that?
Just to speak louder and louder and stay on the podium.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's law of physics. I can't change them unless I pay more carbon taxes, I guess.
Okay, a little housekeeping issue. I've been asked to tell everybody there are porta potties back there, so you don't have to wait in line in the cafe. Guys, this is great. Thanks for having me here today. Thanks, Chris, for inviting me. This is awesome. So, full confession. I'm not from Alberta originally. Like most of the best people in the world, I'm from Saskatchewan. Grew up in hey, there you go. Sometimes that doesn't go over so well. But I grew up in a very small town, a town called Craven, Saskatchewan, actually. The original home of the Big Valley Jamboree. Got a couple stories I probably won't tell on this microphone about Craven, but it was a lot of fun back growing up. It was great. So I respect small town prairie folks like nobody else. They're the best people on the planet. Absolutely love it, and I'm guessing that just about everybody here is from a town with less than 3 stop signs. So thanks for coming. This is awesome. This is a weird Canada Day, isn't it? Did anybody else wake up feeling a little funny today? Feeling a little different? Yeah, it's Independence Day. You know, I've gone through phases with Canada Day through my life. You know, for most of my life, it was one of my favorite days of the year. It was something I was incredibly proud of. I can't tell you how many times I've shed a tear to our national anthem. Then for about a decade, I was met with anger on Canada Day, angry at what this place is becoming. And today, if I'm being honest, I woke up with sadness. I'm sad. I'm sad this might be our last Canada Day, but I hope it will be. It's weird to think that next July 1st, I'll care about as much as my ex-wife's birthday. That's a strange thing. But it is sad, right? Because I think for the people who really understand what's at stake here, we understand better than everybody, or better than anybody, what this country used to be and how great it was. And I don't know about you, but I don't take pleasure in playing a role in breaking this country up. I don't. It's not something I'm happy about. It's not something I'm looking forward to. But it's something we have to do. And sometimes, actually more often than not, the right thing and the hard thing are the same. And I can't look at my kids in the eye and tell them that I'm just going to sit back and watch this place burn and we're going to go down with it. I can't ask them to not get on a life raft when there's one right there. Go down with the sinking ship. I can't do it. So I'm sad about this. I hate that this is happening. But as Michael said, this isn't the same country that it was 12 years ago, 20 years ago. This country isn't my home anymore. Does it feel like your home? It doesn't. I have a background in finance and work with a very interesting company, and we've got a mergers and acquisitions department, and you know, sometimes there's cases where you see a company that you know it's past the tipping point, like you know it can't be saved, and it sucks. And if you just let the emotion drive the bus, what you do is you just, you know, fight to hang and claw and keep it going for as long as you can. But when you do that, the whole company dies. And that's sort of the way I look at Canada, because the right answer in those situations is you take the piece of that company that's working and you carve it off and you let it survive, because you know the rest of the company is going to go down. And that doesn't mean you take pleasure in the people who aren't on the part that survives. You don't. It sucks. It's brutal. It's not something you're happy about, but you have to do what it takes to keep the healthy part alive. And if you look at Canada right now, we're standing in us in Saskatchewan. We're the healthy part. We're the part that's worth saving. It's not that the rest isn't worth saving. Of course, I mean, there's people. There's great people. It's not that they're not worth saving, but they can't be. And it's ironic. How do I say this? The word traitor is getting thrown around a lot these days, right? And I don't feel like a traitor. I don't feel good about what's happening, but I don't feel like a traitor. I feel like someone who's trying to do what's right for my family, for my province, for my friends, for my community, because it's the right thing to do. I don't take pleasure in this, but the ironic thing is the people who've driven this country to the place that it is, to the ditch that it's in, took great pleasure in doing it along the way. It's lazy to say that Justin Trudeau is dumb. He's not dumb. It's deliberate. Everything he did to this country was with a plan, with an agenda. None of it was accidental. Every step was deliberate. He fooled us into thinking he was dumb. And don't get me wrong, he's not going to win the Nobel Prize for anything anytime soon. He's not the smartest guy in the world, but the agenda was deliberate. And I find it ironic that the people who vote for that deliberate agenda continually call us traitors and themselves patriots.
That's right.
It's a strange thing. I want to tell you guys some numbers about Canada right now, just to tell you just how divided we are as a nation. So I did an analysis one day. I had some time and I got a spreadsheet out. And I was looking at the way that Canada votes. And we have this illusion in Canada that the left and right are maybe a little closer than we think. So we've got 4 left-wing parties in Canada and 1 right-wing party, right? The only reason any election is even close, the only reason one's even close, is because they split their vote 4 ways and we only have 1. So if you take Alberta and Saskatchewan out of Canada, so Alberta and Saskatchewan in the last federal election voted 63% right-wing, okay? If you take Alberta and Saskatchewan out of the voting pool, the rest of Canada voted 62.5% left of center. 62.5% after whatever the hell that was that we experienced for 10 years under Trudeau. Like, you'd think if at any point they would be ready for change, it would be then. 62.5% of Canada voted left of center. Just to put that into perspective for you, California voted 57% left of center in the last election. That was the turning point for me. That was when I knew that this place was not my home anymore. Do you guys think California's going to vote Republican anytime soon? Well, they're closer than the rest of Canada. They are closer to voting a Republican president in than the rest of Canada is to voting a conservative government in. They keep voting for what we're seeing. The crime, the immigration, the fiscal policies, the trade agreements. Today is the last day of our trade agreement. Like, we think it's been bad before. What happens when that thing gets torn up? We've had all these jobs get lost. We're the only G7 country in a recession. Oh yeah, but it's not that bad. Whatever you keep telling yourself. The sad part about this nation is that most of the people think it's going well. And that's okay. Because the truth is, the biggest problem with this country is the fact that our values are no longer aligned. I like the way Keith Wilson talks about it. This country is too big to be united anymore. It's just too big. It doesn't make sense. So for me, that last election, that was the last straw. And I respect the heck out of anybody who still wants to fight for more. I get it, you guys. I get it. Nobody loved Canada more than me. I still love Canada. So I respect the people that are fighting to make a better deal. But for those people, I hope they've drawn their line. Because my line got crossed in that last federal election. And the question that I ask everybody every time, like someone who is not happy but they're still waiting for a better deal, I ask the same question every time. Where's your line? Where's your line? Where is enough enough? Have you decided yet? Is it when the MOU gets yanked out from underneath our feet? Is it when the recession gets worse? Is it when this trade agreement means we're going to lose more jobs? Is it when our kids definitely can't afford a home? Is it when our kids can't get a job? When's your line? Because just like that company I talked about, where the romantic soul wants to do everything they can to save, and we'll just fight and save it for as long as you can, we have a responsibility to do what's right for our kids. We have a responsibility to not let our emotion drive the bus and to look at this thing practically and look at this nation for what it is. This nation is broken. Alberta is not. This nation is broken. Saskatchewan is not. So we can go down with the ship, or we can fly away. And the responsibility that we have to our kids, if and when we pull this off, the responsibility changes, and that responsibility to me changes to be hope for the rest of the world. Because I don't know about you, but I've looked at the map. I've done my research to know where I'm going to go if this place gets worse. Like if we lose this referendum, and I think we've all thought, well, shoot, where are we going to go if that happens, right? I've looked. Wouldn't it be fun to be that answer for the rest of the world? The people who talk about, well, no, if Alberta separates, I'm out of here. Okay. Don't worry, there's going to be a lineup. The best job in this province the day after that referendum is going to be a realtor. There's going to be a lot of movement. And I giggle when, sorry, I don't want to make this a left or right issue, but I have to for a minute because it's too funny. I always laugh when people say, well, yeah, but if you leave, all the Liberals are going to go. And I say, oh, my God, what are we going to do without the Liberals? We'll be okay. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. But think about how exciting it is, getting back to the happy part, think about how exciting it is to think about getting rid of all the red tape, getting rid of all the crap, all the stuff that prevents us from fixing this place, starting over. Could you imagine? Think about rebuilding a healthcare system that actually works. Think about new fiscal policies that can take us where we need to be. Think about getting rid of the red tape for housing development. Think about all the things that we can't do right now because we've had decades and decades and decades of red tape and things in our way that are undoable. You can't undo them. Fresh Alberta could. You imagine? Brings a tear to my eye. Guys, I'm going to challenge everybody here. I know everybody here is brave, but I'm going to challenge you to get braver. Because one of the lessons during COVID, this is one of the things that I really shook my head at when it was all said and done. Years after, so I didn't get vaccinated. Years after COVID, I didn't get vaccinated, but I got tricked into thinking like I was all alone in this, like there was hardly anybody else, right? Prior to the convoy, prior to guys like Chris Scott, they had us thinking that, there's just a few crazies that didn't get this done. And then all of a sudden we see the Freedom Convoy and we go, holy cow, there's more of them. I'm not alone. Well then, but years down the road, I found out, at the golf course I played at, that a whole bunch of my friends didn't get it done. They just didn't tell anybody. And it made me mad because I thought, well, maybe if they were louder, maybe if we were all louder, maybe everybody else would have been more brave. And right now they're pulling the same trick with this independence movement. They've got a lot of people convinced that there's just a few of us whack jobs out there that want to actually leave, that there's only a few. It's not true. It's not true. There's hundreds of thousands of people who are doing this silently. They're quietly sitting there, but they still see the polls and they still see, well, shoot, this is never going to happen. I'm not going to tell people I'm doing this. Well, you know how we get them to get brave? We learn from the mistakes of the last time, and we get loud. We wear our heart on our sleeve, put bumper stickers on your car, wear a hoodie, wear a hat, wear a pin, tell people. Let your friends and neighbors know, hey, by the way, in case you're wondering, this is what I'm doing. Put a sign on your lawn. You think that stuff is about selling merch. I don't care about selling merch. I care about winning this damn thing. And we are all walking billboards. We are walking billboards for this. And you know what the best part about bravery is, you guys? It's contagious. Bravery is wonderfully contagious. And so it's time for us all to get brave and to let everybody know that it's okay to think like this and it's okay to want this and there's no shame. When someone calls you a traitor, you smile. Thanks. The last thing I'm going to say, you guys, so I've been involved some in front of the scenes, a lot behind the scenes. But I want to give you guys some hope, and I'll just ask you to trust me. I'm not trying to sound arrogant when I say this, but I've been in a lot of meetings. I've sat with a lot of the people who've been sort of jockeying for position, for leadership in this thing. I have so much hope, you guys, for what's happening now with Keith Wilson and Tanya Clements. Tanya's at the back there. Oh my God, I love Tanya Clements. When I met her husband, I said, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm in love with your wife. It's a true story. He laughed. My girlfriend didn't laugh. Tanya did. Guys, I sit in these meetings. I watch it. I've coached, I don't know how many business owners, like hundreds and hundreds of business owners. I've worked with business owners for the last 15 years in this province. I know what leadership looks like. I know what works. I know what doesn't. I've watched people in this movement jockey for position because they want a statue built for them later. They want the power. They want this. They want that. Tanya and Keith were so reluctant to do this. They don't want to do this. They're doing it because they have to. Keith Wilson shut down his law practice. He shut it down. You talk about sacrifice. He shut it down so he can focus on this with everything he's got. Could you imagine? That's the commitment. He's not doing this for power. He's not doing this for glory. He's doing it because he looked around and enough people, like me and Tanya and some others, said, Keith, it's got to be you, man. And finally he said, okay, I'll do it. Put your voice behind this man. I'm telling you, because the people the undecided, you know what they're looking for? They're looking for a leader and they're looking for a plan. And we've got it. It's coming. So shout it from the rooftops, you guys. That is our role. Our role as feet on the ground is to make sure that everybody else knows who to look to. And what you'll find is when you start hearing them and you start hearing their plan and you start hearing their words and hearing their tone and seeing the confidence they have and where we're going to go, you talk about contagious, it's going to be contagious. It's going to make COVID look like a day off. It's exciting, you guys. So with that said, I just want to show you guys, this is my favorite hoodie. Because unlike the other elections, like think about a normal provincial or federal election, right? Normal federal election, you win your seat by 1 or you win it by 10,000, it doesn't matter, it's just one seat. It's not how this one works, is it? In the last federal election, Fort McMurray was the highest concentration to one party of any constituency in the entire country. Did you know that? 82% voted for Conservatives. And a lot of people stayed home because they already knew it was done. But that only counts as one seat. It's not how it works in the referendum. The referendum, every vote counts. We don't have constituencies in this referendum. This thing, you guys, is going to be won and lost on 2 things, rural Alberta and voter turnout. Because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people that don't even know this thing's happening. But everybody who wants out, we are going to have 100% voter turnout. 100%. And for people in Rimbey or Fort McMurray or Spruce Grove, Edson, you name it, for the first time ever, our vote really counts. So make sure you use it wisely. That said, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Thanks, Chris Scott, for having me. This is awesome. You people are great. Thank you.
Let's just give Adam a quick hand again. Thank him.